on with Lifeforce. Now, how many levels would you like to see? Would you like to see 2 levels? Or would you like to see 1 level? 3. Forget it. I'm not showing you 3. I don't want to have anything to show you in my next video letters. You'd like to see 2. Okay. Well, 2 levels back to back it is. Levels 2 and 3 of Lifeforce. There are only 6 levels, incidentally, in case you were wondering. I will show you levels 2 and 3 right now.
Welcome back. So here we are in level 2 of Lifeforce for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now this time around I want to talk a little bit about the game itself because since we're presenting 2 levels I actually have a little bit more time to talk. You may notice part 1 I ended rather abruptly because, well, the level was over and I didn't have any more room to talk. Okay, so Lifeforce was actually originally released in arcades in Japan in 1986 under the name of Salamander, and fans of Gradius may find the gameplay style very familiar. Well, there's a good reason for that. It's actually a direct spin-off of Gradius and uses a very similar power-up system. Now, the original arcade version was a little bit different and used a simplified power-up system, but I guess people preferred the Gradius power system. I mean, how couldn't you? I mean, it's just so unique and different. I'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. But, so anyway, it was really successful, and a few years later, there was an enhanced version released in Japan, in arcades, called Lifeforce. So when it came time to do the obligatory home versions, well, it would take far too long to go into all the differences of all the different home versions. There's been a lot, we'll just say. Now, as far as the Nintendo version goes, the Nintendo version, originally, of course, on the Famicom, was actually a combination of elements from the original Salamander and the enhanced version, Lifeforce. So it has like a little bit of both. And it has some stuff missing, it has some stuff added, and it's just kind of a hodgepodge of the best bits from everything. One of the things I thought was pretty cool about this game is the fact that it's not just a side-scroller or a vertical scroller. It actually alternates between the two. So you have the side-scrolling levels and then a vertical scrolling level, and just kind of goes back and forth. Konami, of course, also did the Contra series, which was also noted for that. And in case you're wondering, yes, the Konami code does in fact work on Lifeforce. In fact, if it didn't work, I don't know how I would have been able to finish it. You may notice down at the bottom, you see 1P26. Yes, that's player 1, currently has 26 lives. So you can bet your bottom dollar I was using that code and using it hard. There's actually a list on Wikipedia that you can go to that has every single game that has ever used the Konami code. And for those of you who don't remember what the Konami code was, well, it was usually this. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. And there were slight variations here and there, but for the most part, the main part of the code was always the same. So here we are coming up to the next boss. Now you may notice, I'll talk about the power-ups a little bit here. One of the things I like about the power-up system is it gives you a lot of control over how you upgrade your weapons. Here's a nice little trick. If you take out one of those balls, you can actually go into the spot where it was, and it's a safe spot. Any one of those 3 will be a safe spot. Because the ones bouncing around don't actually go in there. They just bounce around in the main area. So, nice little trick there. And in case you're wondering, yes, it does start moving again. It's actually, this section is timed. It either goes by a time limit or will start moving after you destroy all 3 balls. So, yeah, see, there you go. Now it's moving. And the other 2 balls are still there. Why endanger yourself needlessly, even if you've got 26 lives in reserve? So it's kind of funny. Like, I talk about Contra a little bit. I'll get back to the power-up system in a second here. I'll wait until we get to the next level. Talk about Contra a little bit. And everybody, of course, knows that Contra is one of the most notoriously difficult game series in existence, and probably one where people use the Konami code more than any other. Excuse me. Lifeforce is kind of like the Contra of outer space shoot-'em-ups, because you'll notice over the course of this, there's just so much stuff that can kill you. It's ridiculous. There you go. One thing I like about the bosses is it's really easy to figure out what their weak spot is, because their weak spots tend to be the logical weak spots that you would expect. Like, for example, that one was the crystal in the middle. The first one was the giant eyeball on the brain, you know? And a lot of them are, you have to shoot into their mouths, or shoot them in the eye, or whatever. It's just usually really obvious what the weak spot is. But getting to that weak spot isn't always that easy. So talking about the power-up system, now you notice what happens is you take out a bunch of guys. Oh, that one's a smart bomb, by the way. There you go, just wipes out everything on the screen. So you may notice that the power-ups don't like instantly give you weapons. And that's one of the things that makes them so interesting, is you collect the red star-shaped power-ups, and you can actually save them up. Now, I don't actually have any in reserve right now, but we'll see what happens when I pick one up. I should be getting one fairly soon. But basically what happens is, next to where it tells you how many lives you got, you'll see that there's 6 blue bars. And then you may have noticed earlier there was a flashing square that was over one of those bars. Now every time you pick up a power-up icon, it moves the square forward by 1 bar. And then on the far right of that, you'll see a little box where it actually tells you the name of a weapon. So as the box moves along the bar with each successive power-up that you pick up, it gives you the option to select a different weapon. Now, usually I tend to go with missiles and the laser. I like the laser because it's, I think, the strongest weapon in the game, and it just seems to do the most damage. So you'll notice I tend to stick with the missiles and the lasers a lot. There's other things like you can get a force field or shield, which you saw me using earlier. This level is just so treacherous. I mean, just look at all the shit on the screen. It's crazy. It's kind of a staple of 80s games in general, was like have the levels based on the 4 elements. So like this is the obligatory fire level. And the fire level was always the most deadly. I'm just glad they didn't have an ice level. Maybe if it was a platform, they'd have an ice level. Remember that? The ice levels is like... The ice levels, you'd always be slipping and sliding all over the place, and it made an already difficult section impossible. Yeah. You can see how hard it is to avoid stuff in this. I mean, yeah, they give you a split second where you can see the big jet of fire about to spew out, but it's not enough to move. One of the power-ups you can get, actually, is speed. It's the first one you can get, and it can make your ship a little faster. I seem to recall one run where I just kept upgrading the speed. Like, if you keep selecting the same one over and over again, it gives you, like, another kind of level on that one. I'm not sure what the max is on the other levels. But, yeah, I remember I upgraded the speed to the point where it was just too fast to maneuver properly. See, like this guy, you gotta shoot him in the mouth. Pretty simple. I think I take him out pretty quick. So we're gonna wrap this one up, and I'll see you in part 2. So the power-up system is awesome. Konami code awesome. See you in levels 4 and 5.
Sorry, Jason. I realize that you were probably just beginning to really get into it, but that's all I'm going to show you until next time. So, for now, this is... To be continued. Hello again. Hope you enjoyed that. And one moment, please. Hi. Well, hope you enjoyed levels 2 and 3 of Lifeforce. There are 6 levels in Lifeforce. The remaining 3 levels will arrive, or you'll see them in future video letters. I may only show you 1, I may show you 2, or hell, I may show you all 3 in the next video letter. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it.